Hello. Hey everyone, I'm Scott and I'll be your vocal coach for today. I'm going to do something different. Normally I break down what singers are doing vocally, but in this video, I'll be analyzing how JYP is guiding and offering feedback to his singers. His words, his tone, and his reactions. I don't know, something doesn't feel right. We will look at the good, the what could be better, and what could have been said and done instead. I have so many thoughts about this, so let's get started.
그냥 진짜 많이 느끼고 그냥 느낀 대로 부르면 돼.
네. It's true.
감정 좀만 더 줘.
네. 많이 끝까지 살겠지만 그래도 I want to choose me.
아, 좀 뭔가 또 혹 할 수 있을 것 같은데.
네. 많이 끝까지 살겠지만 그래. 네. 끝까지 살겠지만 그래도 많이 끝까지 살겠지만 그래도 I want to.
우리야 이거 박자도 정확하게 연습한 다음에 하자.
네.
나와봐리야.
네.
연습 좀 하고 와.
It's true.
목소리가 얇아지지 않으면서 감동만 있게. 아직도 너무 힘이 없는 것 같아. 쳐줘.
It's true. Choose me, choose me. I want to choose me.
요 다음에 리아 먼저 하자.
네,
컨디션 조절 잘하고.
네, 감사합니다.
Okay, let's take a look at a few things here. JYP said just sing the song and feel what you feel.
그냥 진짜 많이 느끼고 그냥 느낀 대로 부르면 돼.
I don't find this helpful at all because we can see that she's feeling a bit stressed. Let's give this situation a bit more context. Getting into the studio is tough and stressful enough. Then adding a camera crew to capture your process, that gives singers extra layers of pressure. Instead, I would try saying to Lia, hey, I know you're nervous, but let's just have some fun and see what comes up for you emotionally and we can go from there. Now take a deep breath before we begin, okay? And you let us know when you want to start. I find this more helpful and supportive for the singer. As the person in charge, you're setting up the tone for the recording experience. And what do you think that does to Lia and her body? Yeah, she's gonna feel safe, be okay with making mistakes, to play and explore vocally. Also, by giving her the power to choose when to start, we're building up her confidence and that she feels in control of the situation. Okay, number 2, put more emotion into it.
감정 좀만 더 줘.
What does that even mean?
아, 좀 뭔가 또 혹 할 수 있을 것 같은데.
네.
Some learners aren't auditory. Their ears aren't attuned to some nuances of sound. They might need explicit instruction or context or prompts like, hey Leah, someone stole your lunch. You're really hungry and you're gonna cry out to them, give it back. So as the coach or the mentor, meeting the learners where they're at is really important to get the results that you want. Here we can see that Leah's looking around. She's making sure that she's doing the right thing. And this is coming from a place of fear, of making a mistake, of failing, and in a way wanting his validation and approval. And we can see that she's not present anymore. Her focus has shifted away from her voice and body. She's disconnected from her body. Thirdly, JYP's reaction. Let's have a look again. Okay, calm down. If Lia isn't getting it now, what does she need? Yeah, more time, more practice, more guidance, and more importantly, a safe space to try. And he isn't offering that safe space for her to do that. I'm gonna be straight up. Some sounds take months or years to embody and to produce on demand. And to expect singers to make certain sounds immediately is most of the time unrealistic. Okay, if the singer stuffs up, they're already not feeling great. So please don't add onto their stress. And if you're a coach or a mentor or a teacher, always put that at the forefront of your minds. What does this learner in front of us need? For Lia, it's reassurance and encouragement. Example, Lia honey, you're doing really well. Oh my god, it's okay. We all stuff up sometimes. Do you need some water? Take a few deep breaths and let's try again. I believe in you. Remember that prompt before? Let's have a few tries together before we start recording. Ready? Here, JYP has made a decision for Lia to come back after some practice.
요 다음에 리아 먼저 하자.
네.
컨디션 조절 잘하고.
네. 감사합니다.
Great, very practical. He doesn't want to waste anyone's time. It's not the result that he wants, so I like that he called that out. But keep in mind, these singers are young. At that age, what do they ultimately want? Yeah, your approval. And here Lia's looking at him for some reassurance, which she doesn't know how to offer. And can I say, the skill of reassuring someone has to be learnt. So I'm not blaming it all on JYP, okay? But if I was JYP, I would say, great try, Lia. Now, we didn't quite get the sound that we wanted, and that's okay. I want you to go away, practice this section here. Remember to add more cry on these lyrics to achieve that more emotional sound that we were talking about, right? You're gonna be great, don't worry. You just need a bit more time. So what I just did was give a feedback, but also some feed forward. It was very specific and actionable. So if all of this was said instead, what do you think is the win for both parties? The singer, Lia, will leave the studio feeling great. She's gonna feel excited to want to do better vocally and learn more about her voice. Because you were clear with your expectations, your feedback and your feed forward. The relationship between the singer and the mentor is not ruptured. She's not doubting herself and she respects you as her coach.
막힌 소리가 나서 안 될 것 같아.
너무 죄송해요.
해볼게.
네. 나에게 trust me 말을 해보지만 좋아.
들어올 때부터 나에게 이게 아니라 나에게. 그렇지.
그래도 I choose me 날 믿어.
약해. 감동이 없어. 감정을 더 실어봐. I choose me.
네.
그 버려. 그래도 냈잖아. 그래도
I choose me.
미에 감동이 없어.
네. 그래도 I choose. 하겠습니다. I choose me.
되게 감동을 줄 수 있는 가사인데 이 가사를 이용해서 감동을 못 주고 있어 지금. 뭐 울컥하는 어떤 요소가 없어. 야, 예지야.
네.
나 마이크 껐는데.
네.
Okay, a few things to unpack here. Number one, that nasality. Yeji should never apologize. It is what it is. If the singer's slightly being under the weather and they're a bit sick, well, that's out of their control. I think she was sick here, or she had a late night, she couldn't sleep. There's so many different factors to be considered. Or if her nasality is a habitual part of her sound, how can you help her? Yeah, just lift that soft palate. Do some goo-goos and gagas. The singer will slowly be able to bring that resonance down from the nasal cavity to the oral cavity. So what I love about JYP here was that he recognized that she wasn't 100% and stopped to protect her voice.
안될 것 같아.
너무 죄송해요.
Okay, that lyric, me, he's modeling the sound that he wants from Yeji. It's not touching, put more emotion into it.
약해. 감동이 없어. 감정을 더 실어봐. I choose me.
네.
It's not touching. Now this is not helpful. And what do you think this does to the singer? Yeah, it makes them feel unsafe in their bodies. They're losing trust in themselves. And this has a direct impact on their sound. I'm going to rephrase that to Yeji, great attempt. Let's try adding more of a crying sound, like this. And then you play around with different degrees of cry. Cry more or cry less. Those can be really good prompts. More strength? What does that mean? More volume, more thickness?
버려. 그래도 냈잖아. 그래도
And how does the singer make their sound more thick and more strong? Do I project it more? So again, bringing the idea back that the teacher needs to be really specific with his requests, but also his feedback and his instructions. I find that feedback, more strength, really vague. Okay, now those reactions are not helpful at all.
I choose me.
미에 감동이 없어.
네.
I get it, you're running a multi-million-dollar company and you yourself are under pressure. But to leech that energy onto your singers, that's not fair. And also young singers don't need to be constantly reminded what they're doing wrong. Wait, no one does. Children, teenagers, young adults, the elderly, we need to hear words of encouragement and praise. Maybe it's a cultural thing, the bluntness, the directness, but this is causing trauma. People in positions of power, teachers, record producers, coaches, when you say stuff like this, you're making the singers doubt themselves, their ability to learn, and you make them question their talent. I think there needs to be a balance. There is always room for improvement, right? And we can do that without putting the singers down. Try building them up. So here are my final thoughts. Singing is such a vulnerable act, and singing takes an insane amount of courage. When there's a camera crew, lighting crew, and the whole world looking and watching your every move, that can be really stressful. Now what we can see in the video are edited parts of the experience, so I can only speak to what they have approved to show to the public. But what JYP was doing, saying, and reacting, let's just say there are better ways to handle the situation. I don't know, for me, I think it was gaslighting the girls in a way, making them think that they are the problem, making them feel like they're not enough vocally, and making them feel like they're really stupid for not making the sounds that JYP wants. A little side note, singing is muscular. New sounds need time and a lot of practice to be fully integrated into the body. Like I said before, JYP is running a big business here, but he needs to be gently reminded that he is working with young girls and boys, and they're very sensitive and have a lot of feelings. They're not robots. You can't just say anything you want in the moment without thinking that there are no repercussions to your words. And for him or any adult to shame young learners and their creative growth, to belittle them and to put them down, please stop. That's not okay. And I know what it's like to be that little kid trying to learn something new. I remember my dad trying to teach me division. I was 8 years old. I didn't get it. I'm a very visual learner. He tried and tried. I still didn't understand. He lost his temper, he yelled at me, he called me dumb. And the belief that I formed in my head at that time, in that moment, was, I'm dumb, what's the point of trying? And so I didn't try. Throughout primary school, all the way up to year 10. Because I believed that voice for such a long time. Oh, another goodie. I remember being 19. I found myself working with different vocal coaches, and I remember one of them actually laughed at me for being too breathy, and I couldn't switch it off. And another one saying that I will never be able to hit those high notes. And I stopped singing for 3 years. I gave up until I found a mentor who understood the assignment. Since then, she's inspired me so much, and that's why I'm here today, sharing what I've learned from her and from other amazing mentors that I've met along the way too. So before I go, I will say, teachers, coaches, mentors, educators, we all have a very special duty. I'm very protective over my students and their learning process. It's so sacred and special and unique to every learner. I love you. Thank you for watching this. I want to know, what have your experiences been when you were learning something new? Did you have teachers that encouraged, inspired, reassured, and supported your learning? Or did you have teachers that shamed, laughed, and blamed you for not getting it? Curious to read your experiences. Share them below, okay? And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.